I always knew I would sing my whole life. I knew that. I grew up in New York City. The first influence musically I had was Broadway musical theater, so that's what I did. I was super fortunate and grateful to be able to work on Broadway. I worked there for many, many years. It was an amazing period of my life. But when I was working there, I began to be curious about what it is that I'm here to do musically. It was one thing to be part of someone else's vision. It's another thing to find your own. I moved to LA, I learned how to play guitar, I taught myself how to play and how to write songs and how to make records, and I took it to the street, literally. I started playing on the Venice Beach boardwalk. Then a friend of mine convinced me to go to Europe and do it there, and I played on the streets in Europe, outside the Tate Modern Museum in England, busking festivals in Italy, in the middle of Bologna and PIAZZA Maggiore, and my whole relationship with music changed when I played on the street.
1, 2, 3, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright, you rock it.
It was really interesting to me to see, without lights, without costumes, without scenery, just me and a guitar, what could happen. There was incredible, deep connections made with just music, and I fell in love with the raw aspect of music. And around the same time, my yoga practice also deepened, and I became introduced to Bhakti yoga, devotional yoga, and I became introduced to mantra music, which was a repetition series of words, be it ecstatic or very hypnotic and mellow. I fell in love with this because it was the quickest way I knew how to get out of my head and into my heart. So it was incredible meditation, and what I ended up doing is taking these mantras now and incorporating that into my music. So from Broadway to busking and then busking to Bhakti, I started to add this mantra music in. I also had realized how incredible a feeling it is when people are singing with me. Not just making music for them, but now they're participating, so it's next level. First, the mantras were in Sanskrit, this ancient language of India. And then I started to question that. I started to investigate more in mantras in other languages, in other cultures. And now the show, being available in cultural arts centers, embraces this by incorporating mantras in Hebrew, in Yoruba from Africa, in Greek, in many of the places that I've traveled to. And what I have found now is that the show is able to focus on the similarities of human beings, that we are actually much more similar than we are different. Humans are the only ones that can save humanity, and I think music is probably one of our greatest tools to do that. So I am focused now on really creating experiences that have some sort of theatricality in it, that have a real awareness of energy, of corralling energy, and also the ability to create this feeling of oneness. It's in this oneness that me and you no longer exist, that us and them no longer exists, that it's just this massive feeling of oneness, and there is the healing, and there is the liberation, and there is like the ultimate celebration. The show is a musical journey around the world, and it focuses on the similarities of mankind, because clearly the differences is what's tearing us apart. So what could happen if we really spend more time really becoming aware of the similarities? And I think it's a beautiful thing for children to see. I think it's a beautiful thing for parents to experience with their child and their parents. So it's a show that can bring whole families together, that's educational, as well as spiritual, as well as entertaining. This is just a beautiful tool that we have that's available, and I'm absolutely like overwhelmed that I could offer this and deliver this and bring to it my whole background of theatricality and corralling energy from the street, and it just has been this natural, organic fusion of what it is I'm supposed to do here. So I have 12 records to date, and that'll probably keep expanding. And you can find all of them on all the social media platforms, iTunes, etc., or my website, which will gear you there, which is springgroove.com.